Hey guys, I'm Elliot. This is Everything Elliot, and since we have so many new subscribers to the channel, I figured it's only right if I did a little bit of a shop tour. I've got some vehicle maintenance to do today. We're just going to be doing a lot of catch-up work. The red F350 needs oil change, oil filter, fuel filters, and a tire rotation. I'm going to take you guys through the tools I have in my shop, the big things I should say. I mean, everybody's got a crescent wrench, everybody's got socket wrenches. So I'm going to show you the cool things I have in my shop that I use on a day-to-day basis to help me with all the maintenance and work and modifications I make to all my equipment and other people's equipment, because sometimes you do see other people's equipment here. So first thing, we're going to get the truck up on the lift. We're going to get that oil change done and get those tires rotated. Leg kick. That looks good. Not far enough. Right about there. Oh, too far, too far, too far, too far. Bring her back. Right about there. And last but not least, oh, this one needs to be stretched out. Meh, good enough. Oh, this side must be greased up. Right about there. Let's see here, where is that oil fill? Aha! Since we're gonna be draining the oil, I want this to come off. Like I said, since we're gonna be draining the oil, we're gonna let that so it can breathe. Set that down. And we gotta lift the truck up. All right, truck is up in the air. So as I had mentioned in many of my videos, I undercoat my vehicles with Woolwax black. And just to give you guys an idea of what that looks like, this truck is a 2017, so it is, well, 6 years old now, living in Western New York. Give you an idea what things look like under here. I mean, everything is just minty fresh. Not a single spot of rust anywhere. Again, I know it's tough to see because it's dark, but yeah, it's a good sign. So, oil changes first. Got to get that there drain plug undone. And we got a new tool to use. I got that oil catch from Beaver because I was sick of my old one that's over there that I had to manually pick up and dump into the heater every time. Now that heater is a Linear waste oil heater. It's fired off used motor oil. So anytime I do an oil change on something like this or that or my wife's car, I dump the used oil right into the heater. Heats my shop. I haven't used that yet, but apparently it's air actuated, so it dumps the oil out by itself. Now this fitting right here is where the air chuck goes. I can tell you that is not the proper fitting for what I use. So we're gonna have to change that out, and hopefully I have a fitting to match that. But it should hold the oil, so we'll do the oil change first. Now if you don't know anything about Powerstrokes, they love to shoot oil out. You can see I've got the pan, well you might not be able to see, but the pan's about 1.5 foot back from the oil drain plug. And that's because it is going to shoot all the way back here. And it generally makes a mess. There we go. This pan, I don't know, I've never used this pan before, so this pan might be big enough where I can get the oil filter and the oil drain at the same time. I understand I'm right in your way, but I promise, once it gets loose, yep, I'll move. I actually don't drive this truck very often. I've only driven this truck about 4,000 miles this year. Sometimes you drop your oil filter. Good thing it fell right in the pan. Minimal mess. A little bit of a mess on my shirt, but it's okay. So I figure while this is draining, I usually let it drain for 5 minutes or so. While it's draining, I might as well give you guys the shop tour and some of the tools I use on a regular basis. So if you've never been here before, this is my shop. It's my personal shop. I have it at my house. It is a 30 by 60 with 12-foot walls. I recently insulated it partially, got the ceiling done and about half of the walls done. I heat it while I'm in here with my Lanier waste oil heater that is over there in the corner. I have shop air in here. The lines are run all over the place, and it's powered by this here compressor. That is a Worthington. I believe it's a 3T. It's about 75 years old, and it still works like a dream. My Kubota L4701 that's commonly used on these videos. Currently have the pallet forks on it and the rear weights. My Polaris. Theodore's around here somewhere. If you guys don't know who Theodore is, he's my shop oh, there he is. Theodore is my shop supervisor and mouse control. He lives in the shop. He has a cat door that he goes in and out of. That's in the man door over there. And lives in that little house that I've got on my messy workbench over here. This is a nice little heated cat house. He loves it in there. He spends most of his time in there. Well, while we're in this corner, my very poor welding skills are accomplished by this ESAB MiddleBuster 350, isn't it? Is it a 350 or nah, it's a 250. Got some torches, engine hoist. What else do we got? My snap-on box that holds all my tools, an old Buffalo drill press, and of course you can't forget the bend pack lift. This is a 10,000 pound lift. I've had it for about 2 years now. I used to have an old Chinese lift that was about an 8,000 pound lift, and it sat right over here. I upgraded this one when I bought this truck because I was lifting this truck on my old lift, and boy was it wonky. I have weighed my truck. It weighs in at about 9,800 pounds. I've got a 100-gallon fuel transfer tank in the back with my toolbox, and yeah, that adds some serious weight. So about 9,800 pounds are right at the tip top of this lift capacity, but it does the trick. My 97. This is my project truck that I've had for, oh, I don't know, about 2 years now. It is road ready. I've done a ton of work to it, and just about all that's left on it is some paint. I'm pretty proud of this truck. I've always wanted one since I was a kid, and I'm glad I was finally able to make that come true about 2 years ago. Got a ton of pallet racking. Well, I shouldn't say a ton. I got 16 foot of pallet racking back there that I like to store various things on. You can see my grapples up there. I got a spare 7.3 up there. My stock wheels for my Red F350, log splitter and stuff. A lot of good stuff. That door right there, that's where I normally pull the tractor in. And then this shelving over here was a great investment. I actually bought this shelving at a, I don't know if you want to call it an estate sale, maybe more like a business going out of business sale. These are actually shelving units from Best Buy. I purchased them, I don't know, a year ago, maybe 2, and I paid $300 for the entire thing. It's about 25 feet long, and maybe 8 feet tall and very disorganized. So that's just about everything in my shop. Nice and warm in here, about 65 degrees. It's currently like 40 outside. Heater's working well, and I get to work in a t-shirt. Well, it looks like the oil is draining still. I don't know if you could see that little bit of stream. Oh, there it is, little stream coming out of there. I like to make sure most of the oil's out. It doesn't really make that big of a deal, but since I only drive this truck about 4,000 miles a year, it only gets about 1 oil change a year. So I want to make sure I do a good job, and once we're done with that, we'll move on to the fuel filters. So I like to keep an extra stock of filters and what have you. Keep them up here. Let's see here. This is for the 2017. It's an oil. Well, that's not good. Ooh, that is damaged. It kind of looks smushed the whole way around, so guess that one's trash. Good thing I got a second one right here. All right, we'll hold this one a little more tight. Set it there for now. And some fuel filters. Hang on to this one, I guess. There. All right. Oil filter needs to go back on. Drain plug needs to go back in. And we can move back to the fuel filter. Well, at least the underside fuel filter back here. This old girl right here. All right, let's take a little bit of oil. Get it on this O-ring so we can reinstall the new filter. These filters should only really be hand tight. Reinstall the drain plug. It's a pretty important part. One could almost classify it as essential to an oil change. And I'm sure there's a torque spec on these as well, but we're just going to do a quarter turn pass tight. All right, oil is drained, and we got to do the rear fuel filter. So before taking this down, you want to drain the fuel out of it without making a mess, which I'm doing. If you don't do this part, you're going to take a bath when you put it down. All right, that should be enough. I think it's just sucking out of the tank now. Now we have to find the appropriate size socket wrench, which I believe they're 8 mil. Let's find out if I was right. This is exponentially more difficult with a camera in the way. All right, that one's done. That one's done. It's like a diesel shower, huh? Okay, now that should be off. Not too dirty. Dirty from my hands, but not crazy dirty. All right, we'll get the replacement, get that put back in. Also got to replace this gasket in here. which is proving to be difficult to get out. New filter, ready to go in. What's a little diesel fuel in your eyes? Oh man, that burns. Burns so good. All right, reconnect the water and fuel sensor, and we're done under here. So you guys saw me using my Porter cable little mini impact, and I like to use the Porter cable because it doesn't have a lot of torque. If I were to use my Milwaukee, there's a chance I could strip out those bolts or break the bolts, and I don't want to do that. It just needs to be tight enough, so the Porter cable is the right tool for the job. Now I got to set the truck back down, and I forgot to get the key to my wheels out of the glove box, so I need to set it down, try to reach for the key to the wheels, and rotate the tires, put some oil in it, and finish the fuel filter that is under the hood. So I just got this Milwaukee set, and I bought the impact, the 1/2-inch driver impact. These wheels were put on with my 1-inch impact pneumatic, so I'm going to be interested to see if this will take it off. And the answer is no. No, it will not. That's how you know it's too tight. All right, I got to get the pneumatic impact out. All right, that's done. So I'm gonna rotate the tires, and we'll be back when it's time to put some oil in and put that new fuel filter under the hood, because this truck has 2 fuel filters. So the tires are rotated. It's time to put some oil in this old sassy girl, and I'm using, let me show you. And I'm using Mobile Delvac Extreme 10W30 full synthetic. Now, I am not sponsored by them. Mobile is way too big of a company to sponsor me, but this is what my local parts store had, and this is what we're going to use. 10W30 full synthetic. This should give me a whole nother year of use out of this truck. 13 quarts. Let me get my step stool so I'm doing this without making a mess. Probably should still get a funnel. You're gonna stay up there nicely? Stay put. Let's try this. This might be easier to aim into. Yeah, it's pretty boring stuff. Just dumping oil in. Nothing extremely exciting about it. The other fuel filter is right behind the right behind where the oil fill is. So we'll get to that after we fill the oil up. Oh, I also got some bad news on the oil catch pan here. Not gonna be able to show you how it works today because it broke. I was putting the new air chuck on, and yeah, the brass fitting snapped. So I'll have to get a new brass fitting, but for right now, I won't be able to show you how it works. All right, so this will be 3 gallons in, and then after this is dumped in, I got 1 more quart I need to dump in there. I'm probably also gonna catch some flack for not pre-filling my oil filter. A lot of oil filters say do not pre-fill on them. I can't be certain if Motorcraft is one of those filters, but yeah, I'll be honest with you, I just forgot. All right, 1 more quart. That's why I like using this handy dandy jug, because I can just fill it up to that 1 quart line and know I'm at the right level. Yo!
Hey.
What's up? Did you say hi to Theodore?
I don't really like cats.
You'd like Theodore.
I already got your stinking dog's hair all over me.
Ecos?
Both of them, I think.
Both of them? Yeah, you'll have that.
Just pulling it off of your dog or your baby.
You'll have that.
Yeah.
Doing the old YouTubing, you know? Trying to service my truck. Haven't had an oil change in over a year. Yeah. Whoops. But I don't really drive my truck all that often, so I only put 4,000 miles on it this year.
Huh. Well, I only get an oil change every 8,000.
Yeah. They say oil breaks down over time, though. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. That might just be big oil getting to you. Big oil just wants you to change it.
Yeah.
All right, quick visit from the sister, and it's time to do some fuel filters. Now, if you know anything about 6.7 fuel filters under the hood, you know that the fuel return line has a tendency to break, and mine is broken. I have it replaced with a billet, I don't know, connector. I don't know if you can see it way back there, but I got a billet connector on there now because the plastic one just couldn't cut the mustard. That's a pretty simple one, 3 connections, and pull it out, put the new one in. Get all up in here. All right. This does like a 90-degree turn, and it comes out. Whoa! My step stool slipped out. Now this has a cap on it because that's the one to the injectors. Leave that on until you're ready to install the line back on. Number 3, done. That is the fuel filter. Done. So, what happened to the oil drain? Here it is. I was putting this here new fitting on, and it broke. Cheap brass, I guess. I didn't really have it that tight, to be honest with you. Just didn't like it. So in theory, how this works is you hook your air compressor up to here, you close this valve so it doesn't come shooting out the top, you stick this little hose hook into your receptacle, and you turn this valve on to slowly let air in. It'll charge the tank, pushing oil out of this hose into your receptacle. Sorry I can't show it to you, but that's broken. So the last thing we have left to do is to start the truck. Now since we did take the fuel filters out, we do have to prime the fuel filters, and the way that I do that is just cycle the keys. Should be pretty simple. We'll see if we can't get this truck to start. All right, there's one cycle, second cycle, and we'll do one more. Well, I guess it'll be 4, because the third one I'm not gonna start it on. Let's see if it'll stay running. Oh. There she is, simple as that. Oh, and she died. I spoke too soon. Let's prime some more. All right, couple more primings, let's try it again. All right, let's see if she stays running this time. I think she's gonna. I've got confidence. So we're only gonna let it run for, I don't know, a minute or so. And then what we'll do is we'll pull the dipstick, check the oil, make sure we have an appropriate amount of oil in there, and the service on this truck is done. Well, that's gonna be it for today's video. The truck's done, the shop tour is complete. I mean, I don't know what more there is to it. It's a pretty simple shop. I don't have any crazy lathes or machining tools. It's just a mechanic shop. I have enough to get myself in trouble, and not enough to get myself out. Well, I do, I have torches. So if you guys have any questions about any of the tools or equipment I have in my shop, make sure you leave a comment below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate it. Theodore would appreciate it. Heck, even my sister that was here, she would appreciate it. Until the next video, I hope you guys have a great day.